Hey, I wanted to talk about my worst experience ever. And hold on, my friend just texted me back. Give me 1 second. I wanted to talk about the worst night of my life. And it may sound dramatic, but given my life so far, I would definitely say it's the worst night of my life. And I really hope I don't have one that will surpass this. But I have not uploaded vlogs since November, and I just imported footage from my car crash. And this car crash was on December 4th, 2017. And I was in the car with my ex-boyfriend, who I was trying to be friends with. We were both trying to be friends. And this is the ex that my sorority sister took from me. Now they're engaged. It's this whole big to-do, and I don't really want to. I know I do want to get into details, and I do want to spill all the tea, but I also know that I've said it before, I have to censor myself. So that being said, we were driving back to Long Beach from Westminster because I was like, oh, I want to go to the mall. He let me drive all the way to Westminster, be like, hey, I have to hang out with insert girlfriend's name here because security. And so I had just driven my dad's Expedition SUV all the way from Long Beach to Westminster, and I have to drive back. Keep in mind, gas prices are high right now. They're almost $4. This was when gas prices were not even that high, and it cost me I remember $50 to fill half a tank, okay? And somehow I have less money now. Anyway, so I drove us back to Long Beach because he was supposed to meet her, and I'm just a super nice person. And I had not taken the freeway yet, so he was like, just do it, it's not that bad. And so with his support, I was able to take the freeway, and I got off, I was like, we're gonna crash, and we didn't crash, and I was just so happy. And if you guys know Long Beach, I was going down 7th, and I was at 7th and Santiago intersection. I was going straight through a yellow, and if you drive an SUV, if you drive a big truck, you know that braking is a whole thing that you have to get used to, because before this, I was in my Mercedes, the transmission died. So then I was driving my dad's car, and he was not going to get me a new car. He was like, oh, I'm looking into cars. No, he wasn't. And so I was driving his Expedition. Anyway, you have to, if the light is here, you have to brake all the way back here. And hopefully it's gentle enough that you stop. So we were driving through, and the light turned yellow, but like I said, it would have hurt more to brake. And so I tried to go through the light, and this person was turning left, zoomed in. I was trying to zoom past. Their right side, I think, collided with my driver's side, and Luis was like, look out, and he kind of braced himself, but I was not paying attention, but I just thought there was a way that I could drive by fast enough and avoid total collision. Not the case. So they were turning left, I was going straight. They hit me on my driver's side I'm already at the side of the road, and I'm kind of like, what? I was like, oh, shoot. And then I pull over. Luckily, I was already pulled over, because what I would find out later is that my front axle was broken. So the ones that steer the front two wheels broken. And that costs way more to repair than the car is worth. And my front left tire, because I was trying to turn, was crushed under the weight of the snapped axle. And I could not open my driver's side. And so I crawled out the passenger side. And yeah, as I would find out later, the axle was broken, the frame was broken. So if you look where the driver's pedal, brakes are, you'd see that the whole thing is bent. That was fun. Then we waited forever for AAA. Was trying to take the police report, and I was like, Luis, can you do it? Because this is for low-key freaking me out. I didn't cry, I didn't scream, but it was all mental. And I was just I was like, oh my god, this is a sign that I'm supposed to be with him, because I don't think I could ever be in an accident with anyone but him. And he helped me take the freeway for the first time, so I'm supposed to be with this guy. And we waited forever. The police had already determined the other driver was at fault. Their car was destroyed. The Expedition made out like a freaking beast compared to this car. This car was totally down for repairs, where totally out of commission, total junk. Whereas if you wanted, you could pay $20,000 to fix the truck. And my dad wanted to. He was like, but how bad is the truck? And he was asking me is it beyond repair? And I was telling, because I don't know anything, and the police officer was like, this is not repairable. And it didn't look bad. So I mean, once what would I know, Police officer said down for the count. So I was Snapchatting people, and a lot of people were just like, oh, that sucks. But some people were like, do you need anything? And I was like, no. And I told my dad, because it was his car, he had all the information. And then he told my mom, and then my brother was like, how are you? And I was like, I'm fine. He's like, Mom wants to talk to you. I said, I don't want to talk to her right now, because she's high-strung, high-maintenance, stubborn. I did not need that, messing with my mojo. I was like, I can call her when AAA takes us to the towing place, because I cannot deal with this now. And he's like, she just wants to know you're okay. And I said, I'm okay. Trust me. And there was the whole thing about them wanting to have a doctor look at me, and I was like, I do not have time. I cannot get to a doctor now because I don't have a car. So does someone want to take me to the doctor? Because I cannot. Luis didn't want to go to the doctor. He actually had neck pain, and I think shoulder pain. Whereas like I said, I wasn't even anticipating the crash. So I was like, what? We can't drive away from this? No, your axle is broken. You cannot drive away from this. So I was hanging out with my little earlier in the day, but she was busy. She was gonna do stuff, and she asked if I needed a ride. I said, yes, please. So she picked us up from the towing place, and we went to a taco place, and I had a drink, and Luis had a medium-sized margarita, and that made him drunk. So I was like, you know what, little, take us please to the bar by the sorority house, and I will get him home, because he was drunk. And I was like, I'm gonna have fun with this, because I told him I'm pretty sure, oh right, I said, because we were making up during my trip in Vegas, and I told him how I won $240 in Vegas, and I was like, I'll buy you a drink. And we're just so good together. Like, our energies are good together, so like we always have fun when we're together until like people cause problems. So anyway, I bought him the drink, I bought him an AMF, I bought myself an AMF. He was like, you know what I want to do? And I said, what? And he said, I want to go watch Netflix. And I was like, okay. So we walked back to the pie house, and we're sitting there in the living room, and then my sister Genesis comes downstairs, and she's like, oh shoot. I'm like, what? And I was like, insert his girlfriend's name here is coming over because she's bringing me makeup. I'm like, can you make sure she doesn't come in the house? And she's like, I don't know. And I hid Luis in chapter room, our like business meeting room, and I should have like stuck us both on the side of the house and like stayed with him until she just left. But she decided she had to go into that room to get shirts, which were not in there, so that was fun. And then she opens the door and he's laying on the floor, and she's like, oh hey, all angrily, and they proceeded to fight, and I proceeded to try to interject, and she fought me. And I told her, like, what kind of a sister steals her sister's boyfriend? And she's like, he liked me before he dated you. And I'm just like, whoa, wait a second. And he's all, like, crumpled in the corner. And he's like, guys, don't fight. And she looks at him and she's like, you don't talk. And yeah. I haven't seen either of them since. Well, I think I saw Louis. I saw Louis on campus once, maybe twice. I don't know if it was him, but I technically have not seen either of them since. And that was the worst night of my life, you know? Like, car accident. I was trying to be friends with my ex because, like I said, we're good when we're together. We hang out, like, we're friends. Like, we're good vibes, good energy, and whatnot. Lost him. Lost the car. Officially lost her, although she had cut me out way before any of this happened, because she decided, she's like, I'm gonna have him and I'm gonna cut her out and I'm gonna make this feel like it's her fault. Yeah, so that was the story of my car crash, December 4th, 2017. I did want to film this video before then, but meh. That was the worst night of my life, and I hope you guys enjoyed this storytime video. If you did, please subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, bye, bye.
Some dreams never do come true. Some